Good afternoon for everybody. Thank you for being here. And let's imagine you work on a company and all the information you need to deliver for updates on dashboards, models, marketing strategy, and all this information that you receive comes with a 3-day delay or other of several issues. What would you do to solve this problem? My name is Marcos. I work for Bradesco Bank in Brazil, and I'm here to show you how we solved this. Just observation here, I was supposed to share the stage with Ademir, senior CRM manager, but unfortunately, he had a serious family issue and couldn't make it. So I will do my best here to representing him. So here we have our agenda. So we will start with getting to know the Bradesco and CRM area. After this, understanding channel return data engineering. The next step, our on-premises process. After this, the new structure of Delta Live tables. And finally, applying Delta Live tables in business. We will start with a short video of Bradesco Bank. So, Bradesco is one of the largest private banks in Latin America, with 75 million customers from these 38 million account holders, considering here natural persons and company. Last year, Bradesco has had 3.3 billion net income, $3.3 billion of net income. And to connect with all these customers, of course, we have a CRM platform, and we consider it the customer-centric here. But to achieve this customer-centric, we have several layers that we need to consider. So the first one, we have our core capability that we will work with analytics, tech and modeling, risks, acquire, monetization. And after this, we have our business capabilities that each business unit has their guidance and we need to connect. We have a layer of connection and of course, in the center of everything, the customer. And to serve our customers here, we offer multiple support channels ranging from bank branches to a digital platform, and CRM is responsible for every communications on these channels. And how significant is CRM within the bank? When we look at the credit result, that is the main product in the bank, in 2024, CRM influences at least 30% of it. So this is the responsibility of CRM within the bank. And CRM basically work today with 14 main communications channels, and last year was responsible for 7.7 billion communications. And when we are talking about these channels, we need to consider that we have different structure of funnel in each channel. So for instance, when we are talking about SMS, we have 2 layers here, send and delivery. When we are talking about push, we have another one with open. WhatsApp, different structure with read, interaction. Email, a completely different structure. And we have communications embedded in the app, like cards, models, and others. So the main information here is that each channel has a specific structure of funnel, and we need to consider. But so why do we need this data? Because we have, in some point, the consolidated view of this information. So when we send a campaign with 1,000 customers, for instance, we know that we can see that 10% of them interacted with our campaign. But we need more. We need an analytical part because we need to measure the campaigns. We need to see the contribution of that campaign for the product, the contribution of that campaign in the channel. So we need it in the analytical part. To create models, next best action, next best offer, we needed the interaction of the customers inside our journey to create this kind of models. And of course, personalized communications. The information that the customers are interacting with us is essential to create this kind of campaigns. And here we have our on-premises process. It's not easy, this process, but we try to put here in a way to be easily to explain. So the first step here, we have our source and extraction from our CRM platform. And we have the X-way is responsible to transfer this information and to achieve our environment. All the integration occurs here at Hadoop. And Hadoop, we have the TDCH, the Teradata connector for Hadoop, that occurs here, the ingestion, processing, consolidation, and storage of this information. And why Teradata? Teradata is the environment, the software that CRM choose to consolidate all the information that they need to work. And here in this process, we are basically talking about 22 data sets, and the team size that's responsible for all this process is 9 people here, okay? And how is the size of this information? So our monthly average is 2.9 billion raw observations coming from modal, push, cards, email, and others. Plus here, 2.5 billion raw observations coming from tags. We don't put tag in all the app, all the channels that we have, but some journeys that we considering is relevant, and this is the information from these tags. And what kind of issues we are faced here? So the first one is the channel feedback. So one day of feedback of our customers, we need to wait up to 3 days to receive this information. So basically, when we send a campaign here in D0, this campaign is going. 1 day of interaction of this customer, we need this information here. We will receive here in D4. But the campaign is going on. We have the second day. Okay, we would like this information here. You will receive here in D5 this information. So, and so on. Okay? And what else we have issues that we are faced here? So another one is the extraction is limited to 1 file at a time per channel. So we are talking about more than 14 channels, so we need this limitation that needs to wait. The processing time at the source is heavy, so we needed to wait here again. We have some issues in generating this file at the source, and of course we have a complexity here because the treatment of this ingestion, because each channel has a specific structure of funnel, and we need to build this in code. Reprocessing. Every day we reprocess the last 90 days because we needed to construct, to build the story of that campaign. So when we start, we follow this campaign to 90 days. So if we receive information of a feedback of customer that interacted with us after 93 days, this information will be not, we will not see anymore because we stop it in 90 days. We have here problems in traffic. This is our on-premises. The data sets, they are so heavy, and when they are moving in that 4 steps, we have breaks. We have other issue here, primary key. So it's common to receive a blanket primary key, for instance, or another information that we are not expecting for that field. Problems with receiving mismatched files at funnel. So it's common for us to receive information, the last step of the funnel, that, for instance, the customer bought the product, and we didn't receive yet the first layer, what campaign that we are talking about for that customer. So we have this mismatch. And basically, we had weekly war rooms trying to solve this, and we don't have one issue per time. Basically, we have a mix of these issues happening, and the team in this war room trying to solve these problems. And here we have the DLT. So before the DLT process itself, Databricks allowed us to build a pre-processing here, the ingestion layer. So we can map available files. So we look at the source, what kind of files we would like to work with. After the selection, we download these identity files. And here we do validate integrity parameters. For instance, the size of the file that arrived in our environment is the same that was at the source. After this, we run the extraction here, and we validate the parameters again. So if are any encoding issue or file corruption, if occur this, the process asked new files again. If everything is good, run the ingestion. So the good part for us that we have a pre-treatment before the DLT, and we have here a standardization that bring agility to us, that when we have new files or new channels, we can change only few parameters in this process and go on. We don't need to code everything. And here, the Delta Live tables process. So at Bradesco, we work with the structure of metal, so bronze, silver, and gold. And for us, we consider it the raw data, it's a bronze layer. So when we are doing this ingestion, we apply here qualities in this part. So for instance, for primary key, we do have some validations. If these validations fails, we can choose of wait new updated or cleaning this information and go further. Here we reprocess the synchronization because we are talking here with different times. We have campaign that was sent yesterday and in several dates in the past. So we are receiving different time zones here, and we have this desynchronization, and the process do this. And finally, we consolidated via apply changes. The good part of the DLT here is that we have only job managing all the objects. So we have that 14 channels with different bases inside it, and one DLT is responsible for all the process. All executions here run in parallel, and we have one cluster, and we can control this cost. This is very good for us. And here, another good part is that one processing cycle per row. So we consider a batch as a streaming. So only the good data go ahead in this process. We don't need anymore the reprocessing like as we have our on-premises process that we reprocess it last 90 days. Here, only updated performed. The consolidation updated is performed only with the new data. Here, example that our process. So here we have the SMS send information, and this is our all process. When we zoom in one of this part, we have this SMS send information. And here we have 1 day of feedback. So basically 87.7% was written and 12% was dropped because we received information that we don't wanna. For instance, where's the laser here? Undefined ID, this here, we retain information, awaiting new information. Invalid campaign ID, we simply drop it. Invalid contact code, drop it, and so on. We choose what we would like to do with these primary keys for us. So here it's our overview of our DLT process. Basically, since October of 2023, we received 110 billion raw observations. Basically, 200 million new informations every day. And after all this DLT process, our gold has 7 billion raw data. Basically, we receive 20 million new rows and updated 15 million. And when we are talking about the tag part, our gold has 40 billion events and basically 60 million relevant tags that we received every day. So when we compare the two environments here, what we have? So basically, we reduce the latency in 1 day comparing to our on-premises process. Execution time in DLT, all process occurs in 3.5 hours, compared to our on-premises process, 80 to 16 hours. And the main process, 3 to 40 minutes here, compared to 3 hours to 8 hours. And when we are talking about team size, basically we have 2 people here working in this process, and our on-premises 8 to 15 people work it because we have different areas in that process, okay? So the DLT provide us enable end of war rooms, reduction of our support team, optimize the supported, reduce the processing time, reduce the latency, and parallel execution. So for us, we have only good part with this process. And okay, but how this information are connected with our business solution? So basically we have the customer engagement here, but to support this, we have a heavy structure to provide this. And when we are talking about we have here this NBA, the next best action, with new structure, and here the measure, all the measure that in that campaigns is inputted here to predict models. So all the interactions that the customers does in the process is a feedback for the new models. So these interactions is essentially to this structure of the next best action for us. We have a new structure of framework of measure. So the DLT provide us to work with last click model plus U-shaped model. U-shaped is a framework that consists in that work with different touching points that the customer had in our journey. We know that some products, they are easily to sell, so the customer goes straight to the point and buy it. But others products not so easy. The customers begin and stop it. After a few days, go further and stop it again. So it's not linear, the behavior of the customers. So U-shaped consisted to work with all these different touching points. And when we consider these 2 frameworks here, we have a structure that allowed us to define the best timing and channel, consequently we increase the sales conversion. And we have new insights basically bringing of this framework. And with DLT provide us the reduce of the latency, as I mentioned. So we have new reports here with more efficiency and in the hands of our stakeholders. So enabling them to make the necessary strategic decisions. So basically we reformed every report to bring this agility here. And what is the CRM goal? Basically, the CRM goal is to be more relevant to the customers by delivering more contextual and efficiency offers. The integrations of Delta Live tables has bring us agility, served as input for the new contextual actions. So, in other hands, DLT provide us trust in these informations and create this kind of contextual offers. So all touching points that customers has in the journey could be by spontaneous or by triggered. are analyzed and transformed in new contextual actions. And this kind of actions has twice as many conversions compared to our standard commercials. So I'm here representing a huge team, and I bring here this phrase from Michael Jordan, that we believe that talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championship. Thank you.